everybody, and welcome to the June Q&A video here on the Web Designer 18 YouTube channel. I'm Andrew Rhodes, as always, right here. Your host, the one and only. I'm back. I'm alive. I'm still here. Anyway, I have 11 questions this month to go through. Thank you all, by the way, for submitting questions. I really needed this month with everything going on with me. This is a nice little... This is nice. So, thank you all for your questions. I have 11 of them to go through. Don't forget, if you want to submit questions for the monthly Q&A video, just put them down in the comments of any of my video between this Q&A video and the cutoff date for the next one, with the tag parenthesis, capital Q, ampersand, capital A, parenthesis. And I will not answer it right away. It'll be added for the Q&A. So, there you go. All right. First question I have here is, what's your favorite game console of all time? The Nintendo GameCube. I'm not even joking. I loved the GameCube. Before I ever owned one, this would have been, I got mine when I was in 9th grade, like 9th or 10th grade. I went to a friend of mine. He invited me to a Super Bowl party that his church was having. And it was a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot of fun. It was Nintendo themed, so it was like Super Mario World, so Mushroom Kingdom. And I was playing Super Smash Bros. Melee. And now my friend was off watching the football game. I couldn't have given two rats' asses about that year, because I didn't care. That was the year when Janet Jackson had her little wardrobe malfunction in the halftime show, and we missed it, because we had our own halftime entertainment in the form of trivia, a Mario rap, and some other crap, which honestly wasn't that good. But, oh yeah, we missed that. Big time. When I got home, my mom goes, "Did you guys see the nipple slip?" What nipple slip? They didn't see it. You owe me She looked right at my grandmother. Was like, "Yep, told you." I think they had like a little bet going. But, like, nope. We didn't see it. But, I was playing Super Smash Bros. Melee. And the GameCube, I just loved it. I thought it was really cool. The design of it, the look, the feel of it. It was literally a cube. It was a fucking cube. Had its own built-in handle, so you could take it anywhere you wanted to go. Aside from the fact it didn't have a fucking monitor and an internal power supply, like you had to connect it to some type of an external source, it was a badass game system. I was first true console I ever owned was a GameCube, and I loved it. I sadly had to sell mine though, many years ago. I do have an emulator though, so I have like a lot of the games that I played in emulation. So, but I loved the GameCube. It was one of my favorites. That is my all-time favorite game console, is the Nintendo GameCube. It just, the look of it, the feel of it, the design of it, to me, it was perfect. It's a cube. It's nothing but a cube. It just sits there. It knows what it is. You know what it is. But the best part is that nowadays with hacking and modding, you could effectively get a GameCube, take out if you're willing to spend like $100, like $100 to $200, you could take out the disc part, the laser and all that. There's a little device you can stick onto your GameCube on the inside of it that literally boots everything from in an emulator form. And you can still have the GameCube, and it just plays emulated games off of the GameCube's own internal systems. Now, how's that for kick-ass? Do I have that? No. Would I be interested? Oh, hell yeah. I would be interested in that, just to have it back again, I think. Just to have it sit right there on a shelf and just go, that's my GameCube emulator. It's my GameCube. But yeah, that I've owned, yeah. If we're going like ones that I've owned, the GameCube is my all-time favorite, without a doubt. Ones that I didn't own, second place for ones that I own, PlayStation 2. I had the slim version, so I was the one that was plagued with all the problems of, it doesn't work, it dies. My one friend goes, "You should have got the original fat version." I didn't want the fat version, because where I was putting it, I even told him, I said, look, and I even took a picture of it then, because my phone at the time had a camera. I said, "This is where I'm putting it." So you tell me where the fat one's going to go here. Oh, it's not going to go there. No, it's not going to go there. So I got the slim one. I burned through 3 of them bitches before I finally just said, that's it. That's Destiny telling me enough's enough. and I was sad. The last time I did try fixing it, the last time I did get another spindle and a laser to replace what busted, but it must have been something else that finally cooked on it. So that was it for that, which sucks because I really liked my PlayStation 2. I really did. I did like my PS2. That was one of my favorites too, but that's a close second. Third for me would definitely be the Nintendo DS. I would have said the Game Boy Advance, but the original one didn't have a goddamn backlight, and it was only with the SP that we got the backlight. The ironic part is that the SP came out. The Advance was out for like what, a couple years, maybe five. I want to say like maybe 5 years, give or take. And it's like, okay, so the Game Boy Advance, because that was the first that was the first handheld console I ever bought. I mean, the first console I ever owned was a GameCube. The first handheld console I ever bought was a GBA. And I remember going through hell saving up for that. My grandfather was like, "You got to go to Best Buy to buy this." I didn't want to go to Best Buy to buy it. I wanted to get it at Walmart, or I wanted to get it at this place. It's like I kind of had an idea where I wanted to get it. I was doing price, check. He goes, "No, you need to go to Best Buy to get this. Best Buy, you got to go to Best Buy. Buy this at Best Buy. That's where so and so got his." I don't care if so and so got his. I'm not so and so. I'm me. I don't want to buy it at Best Buy. But yes, I remember I got that. First game I ever owned for it was Legacy of Goku, which that should say enough. That was my first ever game for the Game Boy Advance, was Legacy of Goku. Second game was Metabots, and my third game was Golden Sun. So that doesn't tell you where my mindset was going for. Well, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But the thing though with that was that Legacy of Goku was what my one pal at school had. In the last couple days of school, the one teacher was like, she honestly didn't care anymore. She goes, "Look, I'm not teaching you anymore." He goes, "It is 2 days of summer vacation. I'm done teaching you. As far as I'm concerned, come on in. If you guys want to have a study hall for the next 2 days in my class, I don't care. Whatever you guys want to do. Just as long as you're not violating the school rules, as long as you're not doing anything stupid." Yeah, it was fine. So he brought in his little Game Boy Advance, and I was watching, and me and the one other kid were watching, and we got to play it a little bit, and I'm like, man, I really want to get one of these, and I did then during the summer. But it was a pain in the ass saving up for that. When you only get an allowance of like $12 a week, and the thing costs like $70. And it's like, well, okay, I get the game, I get the system in a couple weeks, okay, I have to get a game though too. It's like, and that bastard, that freaking GBA, that bastard ran on batteries. That thing's, they had a deal. I swear Nintendo had a deal set up with with Duracell and Energizer. They had to have, because those bastards sucked up power like you wouldn't believe. They ate through batteries like it was nobody's business. They went through them like a big person goes through an all-you-can-eat buffet. And, oh my god. Because that's the thing that always bothered me, because I had to get those little lights for it. I always had to get the lights. I cannot tell you how many of those I had. I sold them all on eBay then, but I cannot tell you how many of those damn things I had. And it's like 1 light, 2 lights. I had like 4. I think I had like 4 lights combined together at one point just to be able to see this damn screen, because Nintendo, in their infinite wisdom, couldn't be bothered to put in a backlight. It's like, hey, look, he's got color. It's really great. It's got color. Yeah, it's got color. Provided you have light to see it, it has color. Then finally, when they came out with the SP, it's like, oh, well, I guess their deal with Energizer and Duracell must have ran out, because now it's a rechargeable battery, and there's a backlight. You could have put in there was like a third-party one that came out. It was Mad Catz that I actually had, because I had to get a backup battery case, or replacement battery case, and something else. It was in a massive kit. It had like the lens. Oh yeah, it had the lens, the magnifier. It was a rechargeable. You could stick it. You could literally like plug the one thing in, and then you could plug it into the wall, and then it would recharge the battery as you're playing. So like the battery would be recharging as you're sitting there playing your game at home, and then you can still take it on the go. But I didn't want that, because that wasn't going to work. And it didn't even come with the rechargeable batteries. You had to provide the rechargeable batteries for that. And I'm just like, yeah, fuck that. I just wanted the case. So I remember getting I mean, I wanted the case, I wanted the magnifier, and I wanted the light. Mostly, I wanted the magnifier. But I remember getting that. I remember unscrewing the part that the battery goes in, taking my mom's needle nose pliers and gently breaking off the middle parts so that the batteries would go in there just perfectly. I'm like, perfect, they'll fit just fine. And like, this way they're nice and secure, it's not damaging the battery, there's no leakage. Pop the new cover on because I broke the old cover, and boom. And see, that's what you call old school surgery when it came to gaming systems. You had to do some old school surgery. But yeah, there was that. So that was one of the things I did like doing that. But yeah, Game Boy Advance was my third favorite console. But those are the ones that I've owned. I actually have liked the way that the original PlayStation looked, but I never owned one. And I don't mean... I found out that they made two different versions. There's the PSONE, and then there's the PS1. So they're both PlayStation 1s, but one's like a more streamlined design. The other one's the standard one that we all know. And I thought about this, and it's something like I brought up a couple times in the podcast. I'm like, it'd be really cool if somebody, one of the things that I'd love to be able to do is get an old PS1, take the internals out, like take out the motherboard, take out the spindle, take out all that shit, and turn that thing, still use the power button and the reset button, but turn that thing into a computer, just a tiny-ass computer that you can play emulation like you wouldn't believe on. And I mean like decent emulation. Like literally take like a small form factor PC, like a motherboard for that baby, throw it into this bitch, and call it a day. And that's something that I'd love to do. Do I have the ingenuity and the know-how to do that? Hell no. Would I love to try? Yes, if I could get my hands on a fucking PS1 that's cheap, affordable. I mean, you can get one that's 4 parts not working on eBay for like less than $10, which is good. But then it's the fact of when I looked at a picture of the inside of it, I'm like, I don't know if I could do this. But then I'd also have to understand, like, I'm assuming I'd have to go with like a Raspberry Pi, or if I could find a beat to hell small form factor PC that can handle at least Windows 10 and just decent graphics and shit like that, and go that route. I mean, it's an idea, but maybe somebody out there will do it, and they'll be like, hey, he had this really great idea, and I jumped on it because I know technology, and he does it. He's admitted it, and I made this cool thing. And if they do that and they want me to take a look at it and they want to give it to me, I'll be more than happy to take it. So it's something I always thought about. I'm like, turn like a GameCube into a computer. Turn a PlayStation 1 into a computer. And just have it be like, look, no, it's nostalgic. It's retro, it's nostalgic, it's something that I love, and at the same time, it's cool. It's mine. It's nobody else can say, oh, I've had that. No, it's mine. I own it. It's mine. Mine. So there is that. But yeah, general idea. But yes, GameCube, PS2, and GBA are the top 3 favorite consoles. But my all-time favorite, though, is GameCube. What is your favorite Godzilla movie? Godzilla against Mechagodzilla and Tokyo SOS, with Godzilla 2000 as a close third. I like Mechagodzilla. I hate Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. I cannot tell you why I hate that. I just hate that movie with a passion. But I like Godzilla against Mechagodzilla and Tokyo SOS. Those are my 2 favorite Mechagodzilla movies. And Godzilla 2000 is my 3rd favorite Godzilla movie because it ironically came out on my birthday that year. So that was really cool. Was it good? Yes. I actually own the DVD. I own all 3 of those on DVD. So basically, if it's a Godzilla movie that I like, I have it on DVD. And I have Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, Tokyo SOS, and Godzilla 2000 on DVD. And I love all 3 of them. So there you go. What's your thoughts on Crayon Shin-Chan? I think it's a cool series, plus I even drew Shinosuke last night. Oh, okay. That was literally the question, by the way. I actually do like Crayon Shin-Chan, or as it was marketed here in the States, Shin-Chan, if you watch it on Adult Swim. It basically, this is the best way I have interpreted this. Take South Park and just put it in anime form. There you go. It's anime South Park. I actually do like it. I watched it on... I remember watching it every freaking episode when it was debuting on Adult Swim, and I was watching it. I fell asleep during the one, and I kicked myself, but then I saw it years later. Oh my god, I loved it. It's one of the best. There was Inchman. There was just all the weird shit in this. But you had Inchman in that one episode. Action Bastard. I liked the episode Happiness Bunny's Revenge. When Happiness Bunny, the one that I think her name was Penny, if I remember right. It's been a little while since I've seen the show, by the way. But she started doing what her mom did. She starts beating the shit out of this rabbit, the stuffed rabbit that she has. So then he finally gets pissed off the one night, comes to life, and they're like, oh my god. It turned out to be a dream, by the way, a nightmare for both her and her mom. But the freaking rabbit came to life and starts, really giving him hell. He's watching a movie that goes Tortoise in the Hare, and it's like, what's this turtle-loving propaganda? No, you put on something else. That's it. Solario, the story about the fifth Ninja Turtle, Solario the quadriplegic. And I'm watching this and I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, okay, well, I mean, that makes sense. It's Tortoise in the Hare. He does not want to see the tortoise in the hare. That is tortoise-loving propaganda, as far as the rabbit's concerned. Though the part that gets me is when he goes and he actually says, Penny tries to touch his ears and he goes, what the fuck are you doing? A bunny's ears are very sacred. They're like tits on a cheerleader. I laid out on the floor in my room laughing. This is like at 12:30 in the morning. I'm flat on my ass laughing. This was funny as hell. I remember having to show that to my mom. Then it's like, as I was recording them, because we had a VCR then, we could still do VCR recordings. And I taped it, and it was like a Saturday afternoon. My grandparents were like, you gotta see this quick. And I put it on, and she's like, she goes, what is this? This is Shin-Chan. It was funny. Oh, God, it was good. But yeah, I like that. You had the whole, I like the Action Bastard one. With Action Bastard, they had to come up with a new move for Action Bastard because their poor writers were burned out. His new technique was called Action Bastard Fruit and Vegetable Peeler. It works on the carrot, but the minute he goes up against a fucking apple, it's no longer viable anymore. Fruit and Vegetable Peeler, and it's no longer good against... That was great. That was beautiful. It's like, Action Bastard Fruit and Vegetable Peeler, and it's worthless against the fruit, but it works against vegetable. I love Shin-Chan. I thought the Star Wars one, though, was a real miss. That was a swing and a miss on their part, but I'm like, you know what? They can get one. They can have one. They can have one. I ain't gonna complain about one miss. Fuck it. But, yeah, I like Shin-Chan. I won't deny that I like Shin-Chan. I thought it was really good. I think it's a really good show. I really do. Do you have any good memories from your childhood? A few. Yeah. I do have some. I went to flea markets with my grandfather when I was a kid on Saturdays. So there's a lot of stuff I used to do on a Saturday. Playing in the dirt. That was something I really liked to do, though my mom was really not fond of it. Because I was getting dirty all the time, and I was tracking dirt into the house. My grandparents weren't too pleased about it, so that kind of was a thing. But when I was a kid, I mean, the hell do you expect a kid to do? Kids supposed to play in the dirt. No, you can't play in the dirt. It's too dirty. Okay. Yeah, I have some good memories. There's a lot of the bad stuff that came around in my life, those kind of buried a lot of those deep, and they're locked in a nice little hope chest of, well, at some point Pandora's box will open that bitch back up. But yeah, I have some good memories from my childhood. I have some. I won't deny that. Remember Dudley the Dragon? It was a Canadian puppet show from the 90s. Oh my god, I do. Oh my god, I remember that. I remember Dudley the Dragon. I remember it was on we had it on PBS here in the States. And I remember my mom would record it for me when I was at school. And I love the intro, first off. I still remember this introductory song. Makes me... I can pretty much sing that damn thing. I don't think I have the lyrics right, but I remember it. Well, I remember it. There was a Christmas special where the two kids were turned into crab trees, and Dudley had to sing with the one tree himself, and then it changed him back. There was a lot. There was a lot in that show. There's a lot. That was a day. I'm waiting for Defunct Land to do a decent, history of Dudley the Dragon. I think Defunct Land, if you're watching this, do that. I want to see that. Stop kissing Disney's ass. I want to see a Defunct Land Dudley the Dragon. Okay? You show me Dudley the Dragon. I want to see that. Yeah, that was a... I remember that show. I did like that show, actually, a lot. That Bananas in Pajamas, I remember that when I was a kid, too. So, yeah. I will admit, though, Canada did bring out a lot of decent children's entertainment. I will not deny that. You will never hear me deny that. If you could make a good fantasy game, what would it be like? Oh, will it be an RPG? Nowadays I'd probably make it an MMO RPG. It definitely would be a fantasy game. It could be an RPG, but it definitely would be either an MMO RPG, so everybody could play it online with their friends, where there'd be a level up system and different classes and stuff like that, or just be a regular RPG you could just play on your own. What would it be like? Well, definitely would have a level up system or a class and a level up system. That's two of the things that I really did like. Real time, not turn based. There are a few good turn based RPG games. Final Fantasy, Tales of Phantasy real time. Golden Sun, Final Fantasy. Those games are okay for turn based RPGs. But when it comes to, if you want to make your own, for me personally, I would go real time. Because I think real time kind of gives you this better, you can literally do it as it's happening versus when it's not. But I would also, because I was watching AVGN's video for Earthbound recently, I would throw in sort of like what they did with the health bar where it slowly goes down. That way, have a real-time strategy game. Real-time RPG fantasy game with the Earthbound health mechanic where it slowly goes down, where you could still save them. So that would be pretty cool. But yeah, something like that. I'd probably have it be like sit in a fantasy world. I'd probably throw some mechs and shit in there too, just for the hell of it, like ancient mechs and some newer stuff. I wouldn't really be able to go full balls to the wall and say what I would do, but that would definitely be something that I would do. So yeah, that would be like one of my. It wouldn't be like a generic one. I wouldn't say like a story sort of like Phantasy Star Online or something like that. But it would definitely be more of a unique kind of aspect, like like a megalomaniac wants to take over the entire world using ancient technology. You ended up finding this small ancient robot or something. Your friends are still fighting. It's something, I want to say almost like MS Saga's New Dawn, but instead of it being turn-based, real-time, with the health mechanic from Earthbound, and definitely got to throw in some decent, like a class system, level-up system, stuff like that. So, yeah, that would be like a general idea of what I would do. Have you ever played J-Stars, Victory, or Jump Force? No. I've seen it. But no, I haven't played it. J-Stars Victory, I could have gotten a copy of it years ago, and I mean years ago. I'm pretty sure that was the one that came out for the DS. I could have got a copy of that years ago, and I mean like so many freaking years ago. The one game store that I went to had a copy. And I was like, "Oh my god, that's it!" And I saw it, but they had to they were charging like $80 for it, and it wasn't GameStop. It was like a small rinky-dink one. They're no longer there either anymore. They got where they were at. They're gone. Good riddance to them, because the guy that owned that one was that freaking asshole. And the last time I went in there looking for Steel Lancers Arena International. It was a PlayStation 2 game. They had it. And I'm like, okay, and I'm sitting there, and I'm standing there reading the box, and I'm like, okay, so I'm really debating, do I want to get this game, don't I want to get the game, and he's standing over there, at the fucking counter, and every, 3 seconds, can I help you with something, sir? No, still looking. Anything I can help you with, sir? Still looking. Sir, can I help you with anything? Still debating if I want to get something yet. Like, he would not shut up, and it made me uncomfortable. And I literally put the case right back on the thing, walked right out the door. I know then, because I could see him from the damn window, because I didn't park that far away, and I could see the window. He literally walks over there and starts peering through the cases to see if I fucking stole anything. And I'm like, okay, I'm done dealing with you. Screw that. I'll go to eBay. If I want to get the game, then I'll go to eBay. Fuck you. And I never went back. Then I found out that they ended up closing up then anyway, and I say good riddance. Good riddance to him. Oh, freaking jackass. But, yeah, I could have that was where I could have got a copy of J-Star's Victory, but I was not going to pay like $80 for it. And I'm almost sure it was J-Star's Victory. I'm almost certain that that's the one that was there. As far as Jump Force, no, I never, it could have been Jump Force either, but either way, I didn't get it. And that was like years and years and years ago. I never got it, but I have seen gameplay of it, but I've never actually physically played it myself, so no. Are you looking forward to the Blue Beetle movie in 2023? Not really, because DC and I do not have the world's greatest history together. I'm not a fan. I'm not a huge DC fan. If you want to know, I'm more of a Marvel fan, but I'm not a new Marvel fan. I'm a fan of Iron Man. I like Iron Man. I have always liked Iron Man, and nobody will ever tell me that Iron Man sucks. I will beat you down. That is the type of person I am. You come up to me and say Iron Man sucks, you're going to be introduced to the ground, and your relationship's going to be very intimate. Because, I'm metaphorically speaking, of course. But, no, Iron Man does not suck. I like Iron Man. It's my favorite hero. Well, my favorite Marvel hero. As far as, because I got, like, Iron Man pants. Like a pair of sweatpants that are Iron Man on them. The Invisible Iron Man. So, I am an Iron Man nut. When they killed Iron Man in Endgame, I'm done. Marvel, Disney, get all to hell. I'm done. There was 2 Iron Man anime things that came out. There was it was like a 5 or 10 part like little mini series of Iron Man that came out. I own that. I own a copy of Iron Man versus the Technovore, because I helped a friend of mine move some shit out of her basement, and I helped her dig a trench, that's what it was, and she paid me a little bit, and I literally bought myself that movie. I'm like, I'm gonna go buy a movie. I knew exactly which movie I wanted to get. Boom, right there it was at Walmart. I bought it. I watched it that afternoon, and I'm like, yes, this is nice. I do like that movie. I have all 3 of the Iron Man movies. I did have Iron Man Extremis, but I sold that because, honestly, as good as the story is, I actually have the book. It was one of the last purchases I made at Five Below before I left. They got a whole bunch of the actual novel of it in, so I bought one of those. It was literally $5, and my supervisor at the time goes, I want to see you use your employee discount, because they wanted to test to make sure that it was working for all the other employees. There was some issue or something. And it's like, here you go. I mean, I never liked using my employee discount. I hated that. But I bought it. And I have that yet. It was one of the last purchases I ever made there. But I did have the DVD of it. I watched it. It sucks. The DVD sucks. It is... I think the best way I can word it is, did you ever see Clutch Cargo? It's really old cartoon. And probably not, because that's really stretching it if you've ever heard of that show. If you've ever seen The Incredibles, Mr. Incredible and Friends, if you ever see that, by the way, watch it with commentary. It's much better with the commentary. Seriously, it's much better with the commentary. It's something like that, where you see the mouth moves, but the body is a still frame. It fucking annoys the hell out of me. That is the one form of animation that I swear needs to burn in the fiery bowels of hell. That just is wrong to me. That animation style is just horrible. So I watched that. I didn't like it. The story's fine. It's just trying to watch it with those visuals was just god awful. So I'm like, no, fuck this. I'm done with it. I do have an Iron Man book. I know it's somewhere in my room. I know I have the general idea of which box I have it in, but I'm not 100% sure. I got it one of the trips my mom and I made down to the Southern Mall many years ago. It's basically all Iron Man stuff, like Iron Man's armor, Stark Industries, Stark Technology, the arc reactor, stuff like that. It was about $16. But yay big, I want to say. I love it. I have it. I threw like a whole bunch of stuff, like little pieces of paper. I was jotting down notes, and oh, I love that book. I know the general area where I have it at, because I know it's, if I'm right about where I have it at, it's in a box with a folder or a envelope that has a whole bunch of my like invention ideas and stuff like that in it. So that's about where that would be. But oh yeah, I'm more of an Iron Man fan. So no, as far as Blue Beetle's concerned, I remember Blue Beetle from Young Justice, and I was like, okay, so it's Jaime Ramirez or Jaime Reyes. I'm like, okay, so you have a beetle that's basically a sentient jerk that's attached to you, and the two of you are fighting crime. Okay, I could get the kind of like unique dynamic there. It's sort of like Venom and Eddie Brock in the Venom movies, but that's I kind of when I saw this question, I was like, because when I put them all in the notepad here, I was like, Blue Beetle movie. I'm like, oh, I know who Blue Beetle is. So I mean. It's not that I don't know what DC characters are and I don't know who they are. I know who they are. I just don't like DC. I am not a DC fan. Superman, Batman just fucking pissed me off. Green Lantern's about one of the only few DC characters I like. Mr. Freeze is another one because he's not a villain. He's actually not a fucking villain. And then The Flash. That's it. That is freaking it. I remember making the comment years ago, and I still stand by it today, that if DC would ever finally decide, hey, look, we're done, they fold the hell up, Marvel, provided they don't have their heads firmly up Disney's own ass anymore, or even if they do, they pull it out for a couple seconds to get some air, look at this and go, hey, we'll take Green Lantern, we'll take The Flash, we'll take Mr. Freeze, and we'll take Static Shock, too, so you kind of have the rights to that in a way. We'll talk to that person. We want Static Shock. We want Green Lantern, Flash, and Mr. Freeze. Right on over to Marvel. That's honestly what I think should happen. To be honest with you, but no. As far as the Blue Beetle movie's concerned, screw it. DC Cinematic Universe sucks. DC sucks right now at this point. With their comic adaptations of movies have tanked. Look at fucking Justice League was a shit show. I don't care which version it is, the Zack Snyder version or the non-Zack Snyder version. They both suck. Man, I just watched Linkara review Man of Steel yesterday. My mom is watching it with me, and the part where he's battling Zog in Metropolis, my mom goes, when Linkara's talking about, well, you know, he's destroying all the buildings and he should have took the fight out of here, my mom goes, why doesn't he just fly around the earth in reverse time like he did in the other movie? And she just says this out of the thin blue air, and I lose my shit, and I'm like, I just had to pause it, and I'm laughing my ass off. Because I'm like, I was not expecting her to say that, and I'm like, yeah, I agree with you. Why doesn't he just fly around the earth and fucking fix this problem? You could have flown around the earth and saved your fucking father. Oh, but no, the whole movie was that you're not supposed to use your powers to save people. Then he kills Zog anyway. That's what pissed Linkara off. And honestly, I'm not a fan of Superman. I honestly feel like Superman is just... fuck it. Superman's a joke. He's a horrible... He's not... What the hell can't he fucking do? He can fly. He can shoot heat beam. He can blow air. He can blow... Well, he blows. There you go. He blows. He literally proves it. Superman blows. There. You got it. Superman blows. I actually bought The Death of Superman. I bought both the graphic novel version and the movie that came out. Okay, the animated movie that came out of it. Because... Superman Doomsday, that's what it was called. Because I wanted to see him die. In the graphic novel, they kill him. I remember going back out to the car and counting all the loose change to make sure that I had just enough to get. And I did. Oh my god, I did. I had just enough change in the car to get it. I walked back in, picked it up, bought it, went back over to class then. I was over at tech school. Went back to class, and I'm like, all right, Now I got Superman, Death of Superman. I read that when I got home. The next day, that was a Monday. That Tuesday, Superman Doomsday comes out. I pick up that. I pick it up. I'm like, yes, Superman Doomsday. Now I can watch Superman die. And he doesn't die. He doesn't die. They pull this bullshit out of their ass of, well, Kryptonian DNA, you don't actually die. Your body just goes down into this slow, low pulse rate so it can naturally heal itself. You movie! No, let's have Superman die. Can he please? No, can't even die. Superman is forbidden to die. Why? Let him die! Nope, can't die. I was like, oh. But yeah, that kind of annoyed me. But yeah, I'm not a fan of Superman. I'm not a fan of DC. So as far as the Blue Beetle movie is concerned, I don't really care one way or the other. Have you seen Sonic 2? If so, what are your thoughts? I have not seen Sonic 2 because I am not going back to the theater anymore because the last time I went to go see a movie, it cost me $30, and I ain't paying that much to sit in a 2-hour movie that I could pay for less than that when it comes out on DVD and watch it at home where I can pause it, get up, and pee. No, seriously, last movie I went to go see was Battle Angel Alita. And it cost me $30 to go see it. $30 to go see this movie. That included, because I had to get, you cannot sit through a movie without something to drink. It is a physical impossibility. Try it. It is physically impossible to sit through a long period without something to drink. It is impossible. So I got something to drink, and because I didn't have lunch that day, I'm like, hey, I'll swing for a bag of popcorn. What the hell? No, it's my vacation. What the hell? I'll swing for a bag of popcorn. I got a bag of popcorn. I got the drink. The movie was in 3D, and I went for matinee prices because it was the cheapest. I went early in the day. $30 when all was said and done to go see this movie. And I'm like, well, was it a $30 movie? No. Was it a good movie? Yes. I went into it not thinking of it as an adaptation of the anime. I went into this as a science fiction movie, and I loved it. I still do. I own the DVD of it. I got the copy of that. Because I'm like, I went to show this to my mom. I'm like, nope, I'm not. I looked right at her and said, I am not ruining a piece of this. You're watching this with me, and I'm not ruining a piece of this. If you ask me any questions, I'm not ruining it. She liked it. I liked it. Now, was it worth me going to spend $30? No. After that, I'm like, fuck going to the theater anymore. I will wait for it to come out on DVD. So I have not seen Sonic 2 because I am not going back to the theaters. $30 to go see it is probably more now with inflation. So where that was $30. When did that come out? I want to say like 2 years. Fuck, it was like 4 years ago. I think it came out like 2018. Christ. Like 4 years ago, that came out. Yeah, give or take, about 4 years. Hell, no. It's probably more like $50 now to go see a movie. I'm sorry. Do I look rich? Do I look rich? I don't fucking think so. I know. I'm not spending. I am not spending. That no. Fuck that. No, it's not happening. But no, I've seen clips of it. That's about all I've seen. So I can give you my thoughts off the trailer and the clips that I saw, but it's an alright movie. It deserved a sequel after how well the first one did. I won't deny it didn't deserve a sequel. Seeing as the studio pulled their head out of their ass, they're like, we're gonna fix Sonic, because the fans aren't happy about it after one day. When that, and then Ugly Sonic Returns, and for that Chip and Dale movie, it's like, Ugly Sonic. Yeah, Ugly Sonic is not joking on that. That was Ugly Sonic. Ugly is right. Ugly as fuck. But yes, so I liked it. the trailer and the clips that I saw, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, you got Knuckles the Enchada, for God's sake. Basically, it's like Sonic 2, but in movie form. Do I think Jim Carrey was a good Eggman? Meh. That's all I gotta say, but yeah. Do you feel like you can separate the art from the artist at times? Yeah, in a way. I guess well, this actually can work for YouTubers too. Can you separate what the YouTuber does from the person that does it? I mean, take these Q&A videos. I'm more calm. We're having a nice conversation. I'm talking. Ironically, you're listening, but I'm talking. Whereas in my rant videos, I'm screaming, hollering, yelling, bitching, clanging, slamming my hands down. That's not how I am in real life. So that's a character. This is who I am. So the art versus the artist. Another prime example would be, look at James Rolfe, the angry video game nerd. He swears, screams, hollers, carries on about shitty games. In real life, I've heard he's a wonderful person to meet. Like, he's really nice. So, yeah. Yeah, it's easy. In some ways, it's easy to separate the art from the artist. But at other times, it's not. Especially with a lot of people nowadays where anonymity is your friend and anonymity is a thing. Where now it's like, I don't have to show my identity. I don't have to tell you who I am. You don't need to know that I'm so-and-so, the artist formerly known as so-and-so, or I'm so-and-so. So you don't really know who the artist is, but you know who but you know what the art is, but you don't know who the artist is, basically. So it kind of makes it a little more difficult nowadays to separate the art from the artist, but otherwise, yes. It's kind of easy to, depending on the situation, but yeah. Alright, last question. Final question. What are your thoughts on the live-action Transformer movies, and are you looking forward to the new one coming out soon? 1 and 2 were good. I won't deny that. I did think Transformers and Transformers Revenge of the Fallen weren't bad movies. Dark of the Moon can go fuck itself. And it can go fuck itself hard with Shia LaBeouf's god-awful hair in that movie. I hated that movie with a passion. You figure all the shit that Sam Witwicky did and helping the Transformers and the government, and he's living in a shitty studio apartment, and his girlfriend at the time, not Megan Fox, but another one, has to get him a job working somewhere else because she pulls some strings within the company she works at. Whereas Sam Witwicky in the animated show was pretty much standard right there with the fucking Transformers doing governmental shit with the Transformers. He had a career. Way to go! Movie screwing people over. Way to go. Action-wise, the third movie was good. I won't lie about that. Action-wise, it was good. Story-wise, sucked. I like the fact that you have this supposed hero of the Autobots, Sentinel Prime, who turns out to be a real dickwad, and it's actually like, oh no, I made a deal with Megatron. You son of a bitch. And then when the other Autobots find out about it and they try to take him down, he kills Ironhide, and they're all like, okay, now what the hell do we do? Well, we're screwed. And then Optimus and Megatron have to team up to take down Sentinel Prime, so that was kind of fun. But the story, the third movie can go fuck itself. Right in the ass. That's what it can do. The Wahlberg films. Blow, blow, and blow. I think Age of Extinction was the worst. That was the worst, in my opinion. Hands down. Hands to Primus, that was the worst. I have seen... I did not see any of the Wahlberg ones. I stopped after the third one. That was where I stopped. I saw clips and cliff notes for the others. No. You. I didn't like them. I thought they were stupid. I thought they were way out there in stupidity land. Didn't like it. Hated it with a passion. No, 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 no. Kiss off. So that was my thoughts on that. And no, this is not Peace Among Worlds. This is me. This is me telling you, Michael Bay, what to do with the fucking movies. Especially when it comes to Transformers. Go fuck yourself with them. Yeah. No. I hated them. The new one that's coming out, be Rise of the Beasts, where we're getting the Beast War cast. I'm going into this not expecting much. Do I plan to watch it in theaters? Please see my previous question on have you seen Sonic 2 for that answer. No. Short of it, no. I'm not going to go see it in theaters. I'm looking forward to the reviews, the clips, and stuff like that to make my own informed decision. Let me see what other people have to say. Let me see how bad it is to me compared to what they're saying and what the movie's pitching to the tent and what the movie's pitching, for me to hit. And if it sucks, I'll be the judge of, well, in my opinion, okay, yeah, it does suck, they're right. Or, well, they have a point on some of it, but I don't think it sucks that bad. That's what I'm waiting to see. But honestly, it's a good premise, but in the quote South Park, Netflix did it. Transformers Siege Kingdom. They did it already, where the Autobots meet the Beast Wars. Hell, Powers of the fucking Primes did that! Remember that one, Powers of the Primes? The Machinima series? You had, Combiner Wars, Titans Returns, Powers of the Prime. They met the Beast Wars characters. Well, one of them anyway. They met Optimus Prime, who became Optimal Optimus. So in this movie, this new live action one we're gonna get Optimus Primal. I think Cheetor Rat Trap are gonna be in it too. It's just gonna be happening in New York, which everything happens in fucking New York. The asteroids come to New York. Aliens invade New York. It's like every time when you see a show over, like, from the UK, and they always talk about America, they always go with Texas. Yeah, no, shit happens in New York. Look at MIB, the aliens landed in fucking Queens. I don't know what to say about it. But yeah, as far as the new one's concerned, I'm not going into it with high hopes. Do I hope it's going to be good? Yes and no. From what I've seen of the toys so far, no. The hell? What the fuck is this Optimus Primal face mask that turns into a rope? What the fuck is that? Look, I'm going to say this. I think the first two movies were good. Okay, Revenge of the Fallen was good. Because I actually read this somewhere, because when my buddy took me to go see it, I went with him then to go see it, it's like, okay, well, I remembered reading something online about there were supposed to be 5 Fallen at one point. It was one of the early production meetings. There was supposed to be something about, like, 5 Fallen, and they're like, no, we can't afford that many, because one of them was going to transform into one of the aircraft carriers that they kind of destroyed when they went down to get Megatron. It was like, yeah, no, we're gonna, it's gonna be, we're gonna have it's gonna be like this big, it's basically supposed to be tidal wave, I think, is how the one person described it. But they're like, we don't have the money for that, it's not in the budget, we can't afford that shit, no, we're not doing that. I'm like, alright, well that sucked, because that would have been really good. But the movie wasn't bad. You figured kill off Optimus Prime, the entire movie's basically Sam trying to get the, Matrix of Leadership to prove that, revive Optimus, finding out that, the Matrix isn't something that you just get, you have to earn it, which is really good. And then Optimus gets the Matrix, and he basically looks at Sam and goes, I owe you my life. And that was just really cool. Fast forward to Dark of the Moon, and everything the first two movies set up is pretty much wiped off the face of God's green earth. Just like that. Thanos snapped. And I'm like, yeah, no, screw this noise. I was out with Dark of the Moon. I hated that. I thought that was the worst one ever. And I saw that, and I'm like, do I want to get this on DVD? No. I own the. I'm like, do I want to get this? I have the first one on DVD because I didn't see it in theaters. I only saw the. I don't think. No, I don't think I saw that one in theaters. I know I saw Revenge of the Fallen in theaters. I don't think I saw the first one in theaters though. But I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get the. I got the first movie because that's when they stopped having DVDs and widescreens. I remember this one guy and I are walking around the electronics section at Walmart trying to find a full screen version. It's only widescreen. And that's when the one employee was so nice to tell us, oh, yeah, no, this is only in widescreen. They stopped making full screen now. This is the first movie that we're going to have that's no longer full screen. And the guy and I both look at each other like, what? Yeah, so, but yeah, as far as the movies are concerned, like I said, the first two are good. The third one can go fuck itself, and all the Wahlberg ones can just take a flying leap. They suck. They all suck. Basically, the third one automatically, just from how bad it was and how much it annoyed the hell out of me, ruined the rest of the franchise for me to the point that I'll watch clips of it, but don't expect me to say that I like it, because I don't. So. And that's it. That was the last question that I had for the month. Wow. And who would have thought? All right. We'll be doing this again next month. Same bat time, same bat channel. Let's see here. Try to have them in by the 24th. I mean, I don't have to worry about recording them right now on a Sunday unless I find another job since I lost mine, so that's fun. Yeah, try to have them in by the 24th, and we'll go that route. But till next time, everybody, I'm Andrew. Andrew Rhodes has been the Web Designer 18 YouTube channel. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell. Come check us out. We have Patreon, patreon.com/Web Designer 18. We also have a Ko-fi page if you want to buy us a cup of coffee. Though I prefer Dr. Pepper, but they don't give you the option to rename that Dr. Pepper. It's like, buy me a Dr. Pepper. It would be nice. Because technically, I think the lowest you can do is like $3. That would buy a 2-liter of Dr. Pepper. That's the sad truth. That would buy a 2-liter of Dr. Pepper. But yeah, come check us out over on Ko-fi. I know I have to update both of those pages, and I gotta update Patreon and Ko-fi. I'm working on it. Check me out over on Twitter at OtakeRhodes. If I remember, maybe I'll put that right about here at some points during the video. Like at OtakeRhodes is what my handle is over on Twitter. And yeah, Web Designer 18 Facebook page. We have a t-shirt thingy too. Link in the description. Go check that out. Please, go check it out. And until next time, I'm Andrew Rhodes, and I'm out of here, folks. Catch you later. Bye.